So today I'm sharing a few things I wish I knew sooner as a girl before starting a YouTube channel. Things that would have made my life a lot more easier. So the first thing is no one cares. And I delayed starting my YouTube channel, though I realized the importance of creating video content when I was learning blogging. And this thought came in my mind at very first place, that how I would be judged by my family and friends. And this feels really weird, especially if you're a girl, then this feeling gets even stronger. And I really think that this is a lot of emotional struggle. After a lot of overthinking, I started my YouTube channel, and after making a few videos, this awkward feeling started to fade. And I realized that everyone is busy with their own lives. They don't even care about what you do, whether it's your family or friends or even your audience for whom you're creating content. They also won't care much when you are creating for first time. This is probably the most important thing you need to know before starting a YouTube channel. And the truth is, fear is mostly in our heads, and we start exaggerating things in our heads, and the new thing you are going to try seems even more challenging. The more you do, the more you will realize this truth. And also remember that everyone has this fear while starting something new. This fear is absolutely normal, and self doubt is also normal. Everyone faces that. Only those who see some result, who don't prioritize their self doubt and fear and keep trying. The next thing is, don't stress over finding the perfect niche. Okay, so if you don't know what a niche is, then simply niche is the topic or area that your content is primarily focused on. And also remember that as a girl, you don't always have to stick with topics like skincare, makeup, and fashion. You are free to choose what excites you and what you love doing. And I know that most people advise to have some clear idea about what your niche is. And I know this is true, but the truth is, it's very difficult to find out the perfect niche for most people when they're just starting out. So then what to do? You pick the topics of your interest and you need to experiment a bit. If I give my example, I started my YouTube channel creating content on skincare, makeup, and other things. So I was creating YouTube content on beauty niche. But after making a few videos, I realized that beauty is definitely my interest, but it doesn't make me feel my authentic self. And that brings to my next point, which is authenticity matters. So when it comes to creating video content, it feels really easy that you just script word by word and then read out them loud, right? But it's the worst way of creating video content, I think, because it always feels like you are performing and you can never be your true self. And in the world of AI, there are so many AIs that can script even better than you, but it can't give the human perspective, the human touch that's needed for your content. So I think the content becomes unique when there is authenticity of the creator. And that's why authenticity matters. It makes your work enjoyable for you, and viewers will also resonate with you. And that makes the connection between you and your viewer even stronger. And I think authenticity is way more important than how we look on camera. And I say this because I know that we all girls have more insecurity about how we look. You think about it, if someone's content is so valuable, then would you care about how they look on camera? You won't, right? So definitely authenticity is way more important. So coming to the next thing that I wish I knew sooner, which is need of systems. So if you have created even a single YouTube video, you know that YouTube is a lot of work. There are multiple steps included behind creating a single 10-minute of video. There are steps like idea generation, scripting, filming, editing, SEO. And while starting a YouTube channel, most people do all of this alone. And when you are creating a YouTube channel, that doesn't mean that you don't have other things to do in your life, right? You may have your 9 to 5 job and you are doing YouTube for part time. Even if you are doing YouTube full time, you have your personal life. There are multiple things chores, family, and other responsibilities. They are also important to you and needs your time and attention. So if there is no system, then you start feel overwhelming and eventually you will burn out. I realized this after making some 18 long form videos, and I'm telling you why I'm saying so. So first of all, there was no system and I couldn't upload consistently on YouTube, though I wanted to upload one single video per week, but I couldn't. I just posted 18 long form videos in the span of, I think, 7 months. Not only that, at first I was working on my blog, but then I wasn't able to continue that because managing YouTube stuffs alone seemed too much for me. Everything started feeling overwhelming, and that's when I started finding everywhere online what I was doing wrong. And I realized that almost every successful creator has a proper workflow, and they all were talking about system. And after learning the importance of system, I was really shocked because I had no system in place. And this is how I used to create my content, churning out video ideas once a while and then scripting them a bit, filming one video at a time and uploading a video for the week, and then thinking what's next. After learning how to systemize these things, I started using Notion and created a system for YouTube content creation. And by the way, you can grab a copy of the basic YouTube content calendar template, a basic version of the YouTube system I have made for completely free. And I will link it in the description box below. So, coming to my next point, which is packaging of the video. As there was no system in place, what I used to do most of the time, I used to design my thumbnail at the very last moment just before uploading the video. And sometimes I did this to my title as well. So, I think I didn't prioritize the packaging of the video, which is a big mistake because packaging really matters. No matter how good your content is, the packaging is the very first thing that viewers see and decide whether they should watch the video or scroll. So the truth is, you need to equally prioritize the packaging of the video like you do for its content. Okay, so coming to my next point, which is speaking to camera is a skill. So imagine this, you are in a room, you get dressed up, and you start speaking to camera. This feels pretty awkward, I know. I totally get it. Plus, this also takes a lot of guts. And I think as women, we are much more worried about how we look or how we sound. But honestly, you can feel confident with practice. And you don't need to look picture perfect every time when you are filming yourself. Everyone is unique. Remember that and set yourself free from unrealistic expectations. So, what I learned in my journey that I wish I knew sooner is speaking to camera is a skill. So when you are just starting out and if you can't feel confident on camera, that's totally normal. Everyone faces these things, even those who are practiced in filming. They also show that they are not always confident when speaking to camera because what you are viewing is an edited version. This is not the real footage. Remember that even if someone sounds so confident on camera, that doesn't mean that the real footage also looks like that. It may be or it may not be. If in the real footage the creator is that much confident, that means he or she has practiced a lot and has got better at this skill. Now I will tell you the things that have helped me to learn this skill over time. First of all, while filming yourself, don't think that you are talking to multiple people because everyone gets nervous with the idea of public speaking. Instead, think that you are talking to one person who is interested in the topic you are talking. Tip number two is you might make mistakes and you have to retake. This happens to everyone, even the big creators. If you watch the behind the scene videos of the creators, you will get what I'm telling. And this is absolutely normal because we are human and we are not perfect. You need to remember that this is a skill, and the more you will do, the better it will be. And now, here are some extra tips. The next thing I want you to give a reminder that don't force yourself. At least this didn't work for me. Whenever I forced filming, because I didn't want to film that time, or maybe any reason, this didn't work for me because when I watched my video later, I didn't like it, so I had to refilm. So, if you are not in filming mode, then don't film. You can utilize the time doing other things. Filming takes a lot of energy, so you have to be in the right mood to film yourself. And if you are in really bad mood, you can't get over it, then rest for the day. That's totally perfect. This thing happened to me multiple times. I started filming and I didn't get into that zone, and it felt like forcing myself to film. But every time I tried this, it didn't work because I wasted my time that I could utilize in other ways. Even if I rested for the whole day, that would be also a proper utilization of the time, right? So it's always better to skip that day and try filming the next day. At the end of the day, you need to remember that speaking to camera is a skill, it takes some time. And you need to practice to get better at it. Now, coming to the next thing, which is no fancy gear is needed to create a YouTube channel. If you are thinking that you need that perfect background and beautiful camera to make that perfect YouTube video, that day will never come because these are only excuses. To get started, you only need three things. Number one is camera, and we all have smartphones these days, and the camera quality of the smartphones are pretty decent. The next thing you need is audio. For audio, you can use your smartphone. That's perfect. And if you want to, you can invest in external mics for better quality audio. And there are so many affordable options out there in the market. The next thing you need is light. And if you can film in natural light, then you don't need to invest. If you have windows in your room, like I have, just sit in front of that. Additionally, you can invest in a tripod, which helps you do hands free movement. And these days, there are so many tripod options which come pretty affordable. And if you don't want to invest in tripod, that's also okay. Just make sure that you can keep your smartphone in a stable position, and that's what you need. In case if you're curious, the things I use, I will link it in the description box below so you can check them out. The background of your video could be minimal or decorated, and that depends on personal preference, but it's not absolutely essential. If it couldn't be arranged, that's okay. The thing is, you can invest in fancy stuffs as you grow, but these things are not absolutely essential. What matters the most is your content. These improvements and upgraded gear can definitely improve video quality, but don't let them stop you to get started. And you need to understand that you already own the essential stuffs needed to create a YouTube video. So, coming to the next lesson that I wish I knew sooner is subscribers don't matter. And what I mean by that, I used to think the more subscribers, the better. But I learned that this is not really true. Having many subscribers really feel good, I know, and looks really nice, definitely. But the truth is, it's not the most important metric. In fact, it has nothing to do with the money you make on YouTube. I know to get qualified, you need certain number of subscribers, but after that, it won't affect the money you earn on YouTube that much. There are multiple different unethical ways to grow subscribers. I know you can buy subscribers or you can get subscribers for subscribing their channel. There are so many unethical ways. But the truth is, these subscribers are of no use because none of these subscribers are going to watch your content. They didn't subscribe your channel because they liked your content. So views are much more important metric than subscribers. In fact, watch time and retention are way more important. So coming to the next one, which is invest in what saves you time. Invest in things, whether it's a tool or course, ebook, template, the resources you need to learn and grow. Anything that can save you some time. This mindset can free up your time that you can utilize for the things that you like. And we all know that editing is the most time consuming part in the process of creating a YouTube video. If you have budget, then you can outsource editors that can save you so much time. But if you haven't, then also there are so many tools out there that can help you. One of my recent investments is Descript AI. I have been using it since 2 months now, and it's incredibly time saving because it lets you edit your video in document style. It transcribes your whole video and you can just edit like you edit your document. In case if you want to check out, I will link it in the description box below. So moving on the next thing, which is don't compare yourself with others. So if you are comparing yourself with the other creators, then this is a huge mistake, I think, because we don't know their journey, their struggles, and comparing yourself with them isn't fair to yourself. If I give my example, I started YouTube just a few months ago, and if I start comparing with a creator who knows this platform really well and who has been creating content on this platform for, let's say, 3 to 4 years, then this actually doesn't make any sense, right? Comparing yourself with them is only going to make you feel low. Instead, I think the right approach will be get inspired by seeing other creators, learn from them, and know what's possible in this career. I hope this video has helped you at least a bit, especially if you're a girl starting out like I was and figuring out the things on your own. Don't forget to grab the free YouTube system I mentioned earlier. You can find it in the description box below, and I will see you in the next one.